I worked with a client not too long ago, and they have on their website legal, finance, regulated industries. I am seeing quite a lot of this as well at the moment. And when I asked the question, okay, well, who's the expert here? And look around the room of about 6 or 7 people, and the MD pipes up and says me. And I'm like, okay, what makes you the expert? And he's like, well, I do all this for my business. I do our P&L, I do finance, I work with our accountant, and I make sure all our contracts are sorted. Okay, but this is in an environment of one. I don't think that necessarily makes you an expert. When you actually look under the hood of the business, actually about 10% of the customers are in that space, and the other 90%, quick maths there, Chris, the other 90% are across the board in random industries. When you actually look at the numbers from an operational perspective, and let's say we're targeting first contact resolution, which is a well-known one in MSP space, and they got a target, let's say, I don't know, 25%. Well, they're at about 4%, and they couldn't understand why. So recently I'd been working with a client for a while, and they had an experience where if they could go back and change it, they probably would, because they were the person who felt the pain on the backside of it. And it was a migration, and they do migrations all the time, but this was a Gmail to 365 migration. They found a tool, they got some referrals and stuff like that, and it turned out that this tool, when they rolled it out to 120 people, didn't actually import the links over for the calendars. And when that's for 120 people, whether that's internal or external, it's causing a massive problem. The person who had to mitigate this was the founder. And whilst they did an amazing job as a business, nobody else felt any pain. The clients didn't really feel that much pain because it was dealt with really quickly. The founder was the person who was dealing with this. And they were the one who lost a week's worth of sleep, essentially, because everything else had to continue. We let the dust settle, and we have a conversation afterwards around what we're going to do differently. A bit of root cause analysis. And it was very simple. It's like, we don't do Gmail to Microsoft anymore. We're not the experts at it. What this is a reflection of self-awareness. So if you've watched any of my other videos, we could talk about, big, hairy, audacious goals, and we talk about, your values, and we talk about your why, and all this is the foundational element. What this is doing is turning that into a more external exercise. For example, the core purpose is the way that we use it is the why, which is very internal, but digestible for external. The niche is who we serve, because like I said before, we can't boil the ocean. If we can focus on one thing, we're going to be clearer. Everybody in the business are going to be much clearer as to who they're there to help. And it helps with culture as well. We work in this and we do this. Are you the right fit for us? Maybe, maybe not. And then the brand promise is pretty straightforward, really. The guarantee, a slight difference between guarantee and brand promise, and everybody's got one. It's difficult to articulate if you haven't done that groundwork. Setting a brand promise, you need to understand who you're serving, who you are, what makes you different, what's your differentiator, all of these things, what your niche is. You need to understand all of that first. So we understand why we exist, how we show up, and what it is that we do very specifically. Once we've got those things, then we can set ourselves a brand promise or a guarantee of some sort. Everybody has one, but you need those bits first. If I was to recommend one thing for you to go away and do, it would be to engage your people. Ask your people, your team, who are the top 3 clients that they enjoy working with, that they like getting a ticket from, that they like having a sales call with, and who are the bottom 3? Who do they kind of really not like working with? And then take all of those aggregated results. Don't tell them why you're doing it, but take all of those results into a strategic meeting. It's so insightful, and you will find patterns. Guarantee it. If you found this video useful, and I know there's a lot of videos out there and there's a lot of information, but this is the kind of stuff that I talk about, then you can subscribe to my Untrapped newsletter where we talk about a theme every couple of weeks. And also in the comments, we'll add an assessment that you can do for free. It's part of how we do a discovery, but a lighter version of it. It'll give you some insights of some areas that you want to focus on. So have a click.